team looked at why airline ticket prices in Europe are significantly cheaper than those sold in the United States. We decided there were three major economic factors that played a role in this difference. We looked at the price comparisons of non-foreign flights in the United States and Europe to get an idea of the price differences. Then carried on to looking at how the two country policymakers chose different routes on controlling markets and therefore oligopolies. Correspondingly, Europe has made it easier for foreigners to increase competition because there are no ownership limits between European countries and airlines with non-EU owners that are allowed to fly within Europe. All of these factors contribute to the price differences of airline tickets between the US and Europe.
Those are some great points you made, Alexis. Now I'm going to dive into comparing flights between Europe and the United States. So in comparing costs of flights between Europe and the United States, flights around Europe are much less expensive. For example, when flying from Milan to Barcelona, the cost of the flight is $24. However, when flying from Boise to San Francisco, the flight cost is $204. The reason being, Europe has taken advantage of the deduction of jet fuel prices since 2014, while the United States has not. Europe's population is also 50% larger than the US, so the demand for flights is higher, creating a larger volume of people flying.
Thank you, Chad. Those are some great points about Europe, but in the United States, American Airlines is definitely the most popular way of traveling in the sky. Oligopolies companies are a small number of competitors and are not subject to the kind of competition that most businesses are, especially compared to Europe. There's been changes in regulations and it's slowly becoming a cartel, and cartels typically control selling prices, but some are organized to control the prices of purchased inputs. Consumers are paying high prices and are forced to deal with very competitive market, and this results often in poor customer service, and European airlines are the best point of reference between prices and customer service. For example, for the United States, it's very difficult to mirror the economic prices compared to Europe, and the largest cities are very far apart while making train and public transportation competition. Airlines, no matter how they treat their customers, you can always tell by their demand, they will always sell their airfare tickets.
When I was comparing Europe's low-fare airlines such as Ryanair or EasyJet to the United States' top airlines, I found that the US discourages the expansion of small domestic airline options. It's almost impossible for new firms to enter the airline market in the US because of pre-existing firms' profits, capping foreign ownership at 25%. On the other hand, Europe encourages foreigners to enter the airline market, so they drive the competition. The US Department of Transportation discovered that the reason for barriers to entry exists due to the fact that unfair exclusionary practices had been a key reason why the new low-fare carriers had not been able to gain significant entry into concentrated hubs to compete with incumbents in the US market. The US airline chose to deny entry to the low-fare carriers because they believed that they were attempting to flood the market with competitive fares.
All right, thanks team. I think what we can summarize from today's meeting is that today in the United States, there's not been a new passenger airline to enter the market since 2007, and the top 4 revenue-earning airlines fly 80% of domestic flyers. The United States airline market is arguably an oligopoly due to the top 4 airlines' earnings compared to the rest. In 2015, North America alone was projected to earn $15.7 billion in net profits and achieve profit margins of 7.5%, which is twice the worldwide average. Between culture, geography, competition, and regulation, Europe's airlines ticket prices will almost always fall behind the US. Thank you.